I don't know whether your family is a quiet family, but my family is not. We are loud. And the more people who get together for any particular, even if it's just dinner, the louder we are. And there was a dinner that we had recently, and I was on one side of the room, and the person that I was trying to talk to was on the other side of the room. And it seemed like the louder I got to try to get the person's attention, the louder the room became. And that, I was thinking back about that moment when I was reading this verse. And the verse for our discussion today comes from Isaiah, and it's Isaiah 6:8, and it says, "Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, 'Whom shall I send? Who will go for us?' And I said, 'Here I am, send me.'" There's a couple of things that stand out to me about this particular verse. And the first one is that it says, "Then I heard the voice of the Lord." Just like in the story that I told, the person that I was trying to get their attention, they couldn't hear me because the room was just too loud. And it didn't matter how loud I called, they still didn't know that I was trying to get their attention. I called their name, I waved my arms, and they still didn't know that I was trying to get their attention because we are that loud. But in this verse it says, "Then I heard the voice of the Lord." And it reminds me that if we are to hear God's voice, we have to put ourselves in situations where we can hear his voice. We live in a very loud world with a lot of busy things happening. And so if we're going to hear his voice when he's calling us, when he's directing us, when he has a message for us, we have to be in a place where we can hear him. But then there's another part of this verse where it says that what the Lord said was, "Whom shall I send and who will go? Who will go?" And the response was, "Here I am. Send me." And the thing that stands out in that part is who will. It's the willingness. Once we're listening, once we have positioned ourselves to be able to be in a place where we can hear God, are we also in a heart posture to be willing to do what he asks us to do? Are we willing to be receptive to change, or to maybe even admonition, or maybe even he's asking us to go a new direction? And the end of this says, "And I said, 'Here I am, send me.'" I love that there's just a very simple declaration of willingness. I want to position myself to be able to hear God's voice, but I also want to make sure that my heart is in a place where once I hear what he has to say, that I'm willing and that I'm open to declare that I'm willing to do what he has for me and what he's asking of me. Take a moment to kind of read that over and just sit with it this week.